So yeah, AI for actual intelligence. That's me. It's very humbling to stand next to someone reading your biography that you wrote down on a piece of paper, and they read it up into a bunch of people, in front of a bunch of people. But that's me with my arms folded, because that's how you're supposed to take one of those photos. And yeah, I do lots of stuff and go lots of places, and I'm here. Today, we are going to talk about AI for actual intelligence, and we're going to talk about why it matters in today's AI reality. How to add humanity to your SEO with AI content, and how AI tools can support the process. So why does actual intelligence matter in AI's SEO or SEO's AI reality? Do you remember back in before December 2022, when we were all just sort of minding our own SEO business, tending to our own SEO haystacks, before this sort of whirlwind and AI stuff blew into our midst, and we were sort of having a situation where we had ChatGPT and people were like, I'm not going to write any more emails. I'm not going to read any more emails. Nothing's ever going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And everyone, it was a lot of many things that people sort of realized that we weren't in sort of SEO Kansas anymore, that we were in a new space. And we got from a place where people would find old content and then that's how we would surface information, and to a place where they find old content and then they would remix it on their end. And that's sort of where we are now. And it felt really, really new, but it's actually not that new. If you look back at the history of SEO and Google and all of that sort of stuff, you'll see that Google's been using AI in search for lots of their tools for years. So Google itself has AI, Google Lens, and we've got Google Translate there, and then Google Assistants also use AI. Voice search, which has, I think, is 2024 the year for voice search? Is it 2025? It was 2022 at one point. Yeah, okay, so yeah. So the year for voice search started in 2012, right? We also had featured snippets. Featured snippets have been written by, using AI since 2016. We also have the fact that Google is very happy to combine lots of these different tools. So Google Translate is powered by AI, and they use Google Lens to recognize different elements on a page, and they'll combine the two so that you can translate a page. And if you're like me, if you're in another country and you need to translate a recipe or the ingredients on an item to see if you can eat it so that you don't aggravate your lactose intolerance, it's really, really useful. So they're happy to combine all of these things, and we're even seeing it with AI overviews, where you have the featured snippets, which include some AI in them, and they're showing up. The content from the featured snippets is showing up within the AI overviews again and again and again. And what we also find is that even as they're bringing in lots of new AI elements, we're still finding that some of the tried and tested methods from SEO are still part of that. So it's not completely new territory when we're thinking about AI, when we're thinking about SEO, when we're thinking about search features, when we're thinking about any of this. We have the tools to move forward. There is a path forward. Because SEO has always been about standing out. And it's always been about adding value. And it's always been about connecting with customer need. So if I was to ask you a question, we're going to jump back a second. I'm going to ask the room, how many of you, wonderful marketing professionals, are using AI for your content? Be honest. Okay, that's most people in the room. And this is what we're seeing. I think this particular one was from 2023, and it's only going to be increasing more. And if you look around at your colleagues here, your professional colleagues, most people are using AI. And most people are planning to use AI if they're not using it just yet. And what we find when we look at how people are using AI, you'll see that data analysis, which yeah. If I don't have to argue with the spreadsheet, if I could just say, what is the formula for this to ChatGPT, I can see you over there, you're smiling about that, yeah. I will reclaim that time, thank you very much, yes. So the data analysis, cleaning out data, deduping, yes, please, thank you. All of that, great, top use. Second use, content creation. 44.5% of marketers are using AI to create with content. The tricky problem with that, though, is that you're going to have a lot of content that looks the same, right? And when you have AI in the mix, with the SERPs and all of that sort of stuff, then that's literally tricky. And that means that if you want to use AI in your content creation process, which we all are, we all confess that you are using, you have to find a way to stand out, and you have to find a way to differentiate it so that it's not the same. So let's pull back the curtain on all of that. So how do we emphasize human expertise in AI content? Well, we want to lean into experience. We want to show real examples, and we also need to have an opinion. So if we lean into experience, one of the things that I noticed was really interesting. So we had ChatGPT hitting 1 million users super quickly within weeks of launching. So it was like the fastest app adoption ever. And by December 9th, they hit a million users. By December 15th, Google added another E to the EAT. They added experience to the EAT. I do not think that is a coincidence. And so we had an experience authority or expertise authority and trust, and now experience. And then also, not long after that, they added in Reddit. So if you ask questions like, can a dog help you make friends as an adult? Reddit. How to break in patent leather shoes? Reddit. And you start to see this hockey stick, which we've all seen in the SERPs in our first personal experience, and also there's tons of data to back that up. And we also see it happening in Quora as well. And why? I mean, one of the things I think is interesting, I mean, we all know that Google has a relationship with Reddit, and that's all useful, and I think that has to do with AI too. But one of the things that's really interesting is that forums are able to offer experience that AI cannot, right? There's historic discussion on forums. If I were to ask them, like, how to break in patent leather shoes, there'll be people who have been asking that question since 2010, since 1999, since all of this sort of things, historic discussion going all the way back. And they're able to learn from that. They also have input from human perspectives, and they also have queries that can't necessarily be answered with AI. And it's not just Reddit. So we've seen many legacy forums have seen gains. So this is an example of niche forums, for instance. So Reddit is the one on the orange, and then we can see that though they don't have the same traffic as Reddit's got millions and millions and millions. If you look at the trajectory when you do a log comparison, you can see that DeviantArt forums following the same. Purse blog is following the same trajectory. In-Depth Outdoors is following the same trajectory. Community Rick Steves, Fedora, all following the same trajectory. Branded forums are seeing this as well. So you've got Reddit, again in the orange, discussion, Apple following the same trajectory. Monday.com's forum, eBay's forum, Ford Transit USA forum.com. Boom. And one of the things I think is interesting about this is because forums actually have all that EEAT stuff built in, right? So if you go to Home Improvement Reddit, and let's say you were a girl from Kansas and your storm door got ripped off when there was a tornado just before you got whisked off to the land of Oz, you might go to the Reddit forum, Home Improvement, and there you can see that this forum has been open since 2008. You can see that it's got this many members, and it's got, it's ranked really highly. You can see the comments there, which will tell you whether or not this is a valuable conversation. You can see the upvotes, all of that sort of stuff. All of those things are built in. You can see the expertise, the experience, the authority, and the trust already on that page. And when we look at other places where people are combining forums and AI, for instance, on those LinkedIn articles that LinkedIn's constantly telling me to contribute to, it will tell you that, yes, it's written with the help of AI, but it's got insights and advice from real people. And they have those people just declared on the pages, and it helps you figure out. Now, you might be saying, I'm not LinkedIn, I'm not Reddit. What can I do with all of that? Well, there's things you can do as well. When Maria Oberstein, my colleague over at Wix, wrote an article on SEJ talking about our SEO course, and we have Andrew in the house, who's one of our contributors to the SEO course. Thanks, Andrew. He wrote an article, and on SEJ, what they do is they always tell you how many shares, they always tell you how many reads that particular article has had. This is very similar to what you see on a forum, for instance. So if you have a blog, this is something that you can do as well. They also have author pages, and I know author pages are nothing new at all, but the author pages help to corroborate that information, help build all of that trust, all of that expertise, all of that on the page. Similarly, if you have a blog, a general blog, you can also have this. This is a Wix site that we always roll out because it does so well. And this blog, for instance, has 103,000 views. If I was interested in sweeteners, I'd be like, I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna have a look. Why? Because it's got social proof there. This is another blog that's also on a Wix website, and this has comments. So you have your blog here, you also have the comments, just like you would on a forum. You have your comments, you have your likes, you have all of that sort of information. So when you're able to differentiate with experience, even if you're using AI content for the core of your content, you can add in those signals to help figure out, to help people to see that you have experience, that you have named experts who are contributing to your content, that you have social proof across your content, that people enjoy this content, regardless as to whether it was made from AI or not. And if you are using AI, just like they do on LinkedIn, you should declare your AI contribution. Another one is showing real examples. So let's say you were a girl from Kansas and you were going to take your dog on a trip. You might ask, can dogs go in airplane cargo? Is that something that you can do? And yeah, Google's going to give you the AI overview. But they're also going to give you a link to a page. And when you go into that page, even if this content is made using support of AI, they've included first-person information here. First-person primary source information. Me and my dog, Jago, go everywhere. We do this, we go here, we do that. And then later on it says, I've flown here, Jago can fly with us, it sits at our feet, and all of that sort of stuff. And what we see is that with content, even if you're using AI, should include primary resource content that's unique. This is a great example from Spruce Pets, where they had lots of dog carriers, for instance, like the kind you might take on a plane. And they have tons of primary source images from their teams. So this is lots of people with their dogs in a carrier. And then they've got lots of this is how the dog experienced all of that. And then they pair that with content that could be created with AI really, really easily, like an FAQ, for instance. Similarly, if you look at best portable dog water bowls, for instance, this is another piece of content from Dog Rescue, and they have, again, unique primary source content that includes lots of individual images that are unique to them, and they've got lots of different stories of the dogs using the things, but they also have content that can very easily be created by AI that's built in there, that's sort of product comparisons. So they're pairing the two. They're pairing the primary content, which is absolutely unique to them, with content that can be created with AI. So they're not leaving just one or the other, they're pairing the two. So when you illustrate, you're also able to differentiate your content. So you should be using unique content in your examples. You should be using a selection of examples. So when you're showing lots of different elements across, you should show lots of different people and lots of different ways that people are experiencing the content. And also balance AI explainers like FAQs, like tables, like summaries, with primary source information. Next, you should think about having an opinion. So robots don't have opinions. They don't care whether or not pineapple should go on pizza. Now, I know that pineapple should not go on pizza because you would never, ever, ever have pineapple with tomato sauce. It's just wrong, people. It's just wrong. You're shaking your head, but you're wrong. My opinion's correct. So this is what I'm saying. My husband thinks Brussels sprouts are the devil. You say Java soup's the devil, my husband thinks Brussels sprouts are the devil. I quite like them. But my point is that robots have no opinion about pizza or Brussels sprouts, right? They just don't. Humans do. And there's some content where only humans can answer that question because really it's kind of an eternal question. We always ask the question about, do you like pineapple on pizza, because we know it's one of those questions. And it's fun to have that conversation. So someone was to ask, is Somewhere Over the Rainbow a happy or sad song? Google is doing its best to answer this with an AI overview. They're like, it's a sad song. And then they're like, oh, it's a song about someone who wants to go both home and on an adventure. And then they've got the thing on the side that says, why Somewhere Over the Rainbow takes us to a magical, musical place, right? Then when we get further down the SERP, we see the featured snippet is saying it's about both longing and hope. Then we go to unpopularopinion.com, they're saying it's profoundly depressing. Then we go to another one and say, oh, it's about hope. Then we go to this one and it says it's in one of the top 6 songs to play at a funeral. Now, Google can't really decide whether the song is happy or sad. For a while, they were ranking this one from Quora, and what I thought was interesting about this was that they skipped over the AI assistant entirely, and they went straight to this one, which was, explaining how this person felt about it, and they're saying, it's a simple song, that they're saying it's a bit mixed, basically.
And the thing that had the most upvotes was this one
From Kamakawila Ole, Israel Kamakawila Ole, singing on his ukulele, which is just a beautiful version if you've never heard that version.
But my point is that essentially when you get into the space of a question that needs multiple answers or a question that has a lot of nuance, people are more likely to actually click on your content because it's not a yes or no answer. And if you are able to have an opinion on something that's more rich, then you're more likely to get that click. So when I think about this, it's a little bit like when I think about this song, whether it's Judy Garland or whether it's Patti LaBelle or whether it's Ariana Grande singing in her bedroom or singing in her kitchen, I don't really care what the bot thinks. I don't care what the robot thinks or what ChatGPT thinks about whether or not this song is happy or sad. I just know when I hear this song, it just gives me the feels, and I really like it. So opinionate to differentiate. Add opinions into your content. Even if you're using AI to help you clean it up, even if you're using AI to make it happen in the end, add your opinion. Don't shy away from them because this builds, this builds engagement. This makes it more likely that people are going to click. It makes it more likely that people are going to be searching for conversations around this. And engage with complex topics. Don't be afraid of that. And invite discussion. So how AI tools can support this process? So AI opens up time and resources to tell human stories better. All of that stuff about doing like primary source content, getting those pictures, doing all of these tests, running all of that stuff, that takes time. That takes time and resources. I think it can be really tricky to pull through all of that, but AI can really help you with that. So if you're thinking about showing an experience, you want to think about adding in UGC signals and also in adding in quotes. Well, you want to get quotes from subject matter experts on whatever project you're working on. AI transcribers are a game changer for that. AI transcribers can make such a big deal, make such a big difference for helping you do that. Adding in like share buttons, author pages, that's all stuff that you can build into your code. You probably already have that in your website as well, but getting those quotes can be really make a really big difference and help you to add in nuance and uniqueness into the AI content that you're generating really, really quickly and really easily. Illustrating what you're doing with unique images and summaries. This is really great. But again, AI image enhancers can help you take, so let's say somebody is out in the middle, in the wild, and they've got that great photo that's in shot, but maybe it's a little bit blurry, maybe it's not the right size, maybe it's like this, maybe it's like that. Your AI image enhancers can help you with that. When you've got content and somebody's written something and it's really great, you can use AI tables and TLDRs and things like that to help summarize it to make it easier for bots to read. You can have AI help you make visualizations and things like that. And also, when you're thinking about having an opinion, you can also use AI to help you with videos, for instance. That can be really useful. AI tags for SEO to just make sure that everything's tidy and working well. And social media. Social media is a great place for having conversations, and that's really useful. And another one, just a shout out to something I spent a lot of time on, the user-first keyword ideation worksheet. I was talking to somebody earlier, I was talking to you about precisely this. And basically, we had so many primary sources for keywords, for content ideation, for things like that, talking to your sales team, your Slack channel even, training gaps, Google business profile questions, webinar questions. We have webinars every month. We've got another one coming up next week, and we get thousands of questions asked at us every time. And it used to be a real chore trying to go through all of those questions. Well, guess what? I can take all those questions, I can put them through a tool, and I can say, tell me the top 10 questions from this. Boom. And then I've got something that's really, really valuable for everybody, and it's really quick, and it's really, really useful. And that's primary source stuff that's using the AI to make the human content better. And I was such a fan of this. I started using this week. I don't know. I know other people who are using Notebook LM and are obsessed with it. I'm completely, it's my favorite. So Notebook LM, if you haven't tried it, do. And basically you go, you log in, and then you can upload whatever you want. And it's your private little corner of LLM loveliness. And basically, let's say you do that interview with that subject matter expert, you can upload that to it. Then you can also upload the transcript to it. Then you can also upload, maybe the documentation that's related to that. And you can also upload whatever else you need. And then you can ask it questions. You can have it help you create content. You can have it help you tidy all of those things up. And these AI tools can help you take that primary content that is unique to you and make it more relevant and make it easier to turn into web content that's useful for everybody. If you're interested in the content ideation worksheet, which again has lots of different elements through it and has lots of ways for you to collect content for various different things, you can download it here, and then you can use Notebook out loud to help you do more cool stuff with it. Super fun. And I'll leave that for there if anybody wants to see it. So that's super useful. And when we think about illustrating, this is what I did. Isn't he cute? He's cute, right? This is my totem. This is my like neon totem. So basically, sometimes you get this content, and sometimes you're working in a vertical that's not very sexy, and there aren't cute pictures. It happens. It does totally happens. And AI image creators can really be a game changer for that. I've done another video. There's no other reason why I have this one other than I thought he was cute. So like, and it's my presentation, so we'll do that. And this is another example of, again, let's say you get some of that primary content and you just want to touch it up a little bit, make it a little bit cleaner. Within our Wix SEO and Wix Studio tools, we have these tools built in. So for instance, we have the image generator built into the Wix. We also have the object eraser that's built into it as well. I used this the other day to touch up a photo of mine, which was very of myself, which was very fantastic. But yeah, it will erase images for you or will erase elements for you and make things better there. Let's say somebody goes again, they get that primary source content for you, and it's not the right size. And if you scale it up, it makes everything blurry. Within the Wix Studio and Wix image updates and image tools, we also have a ability to upscale your image with AI, so you can take it up, twice, 3 times as big. Another one that I really, really love, because graphic designers sometimes get very upset if you bother them for something that is seemingly small. You know my pain. When you're like, I just need this. And they're like, but I'm an artiste. And you're like, I know you're an artiste, but please, can you just help me with... Yeah, exactly, precisely. Well, you don't have to use Canva because we have it built into Wix if you're using Wix. So yeah, I love this one. This is really, really good. If you have a landscape and you want a portrait, if you have a portrait and you want a landscape, it's really, really great. And AI can help you move faster with all of these sorts of elements. So when you're thinking about having opinion, those opinion pieces are great. You need to get moving with the AI. Let's say you want to get that opinion piece out straight away, and let's say they wrote it in the middle of the night. Well, we have tools that are built in, help you have your AI meta description and your AI title tag built in, so we got you covered before you come back and maybe optimize it some more yourself. So that's a tool that's built in as well. And then also, if you're thinking about like telling the world, like with an unsolicited SEO tip maybe, about your opinion, then we also have AI that can help you do your social media text. And again, that's something that can help you get going, help you get started, just to help with that blank page element. And also, if you're going to do the video that's telling everyone about your opinion, there are AI video tools as well. And I think if you're able to harness all of these AI tools and you're able to get everything working together to help you to make your content more distinct, more unique, even when you're using AI, then you should play your somewhere over the rainbow. And with that, I thank you.